Hi, boys. I think Andrew asked for the settings video. I think I took down the last one, so I'm gonna make a new one real quick. Just kind of walk through a couple of things. I'll talk about a couple of things, but for the most part, I'll just go through it as quickly as possible. Just copy them if you want to copy them, or change them up a little bit if you want to change them up. All right, controller. I'm on tactical, default, 145 sensitivities now. I've played with it. I've gone up. I've gone down. 145 is where I'm comfortable. At least that's where I'm playing at. That's where I'm testing at now. So we'll see. The last few days I've been playing a little bit better at 145, not so much as high as I was at like 2.8 or 2.5. It just felt a little off. So 145 is where I'm at. Anyways, controller vibration off, trigger effect off. Dead zones are crucial. Hit square. Okay. I have my left stick dead zone at 0 and then my left stick max at 60. This is important. Every controller is different with the dead zones, but I think these two, you can pretty much bring this one all the way down to 0 and 60, and this will activate your tactical sprint and your rotational aim assist a lot quicker. Your right stick, my right stick min is at 2, and then my right stick max is at 99. Leave that at 99, but with the right stick min, this has to do with your aiming. So what you want to do is you want to test it to see if you have stick drift. I think by default this is at 10. I brought it all the way down to 2. Here's why. If I put this to 0 and I test it and move my right stick, you see how it's giving me a number on the horizontal axis? You see that? So I got a little bit of stick drift going left and right. Okay? If I change this to 1 now and go back up, see how it still has 1, 1, 1, and there's as high as 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. Okay. Now if I go to 2, 2, I'll still have a little bit, but not by much. Look. See? Stays at 0, comes back to 0. Alright? So test that. Just keep going until you reach 0. Start at 0 and move your way up, and until these two numbers here show up at 0 after you move your stick around. Alright? That's the dead zones. That's how quickly your sticks activate once you're moving them. Alright, so this is for aiming, this is for movement. So you want the movement stick moving as quickly as possible. This is why a little bit of stick drift on that left stick is not a big deal. Dead zones on my L2 and R2, my aiming and shooting buttons are at 0. Alright, I'll go to aiming. Sensitivity multiplier, we'll talk about that in a second. Aiming advanced settings, instant and dynamic at a 1.0 scale. Okay? Instant and dynamic. This is the stickiest aim assist you can have. I tested them all. I promise you, for PS5, this is where it's at. I have a custom sensitivity per zoom, so my low zooms, my iron sights, and my SMGs and stuff like that, I have at a 0.85. So it brings it from a 1.45 to 85% of that, which is the 0.85, the multiplier. So it'll take it from a 145 and bring it down to like, I don't know, a 1.1 or something like that. So 0.85 is where I'm comfortable. This is how I like it on the low zooms. Everything else is at 1.0, especially the sniper rifles. If I pick one up, if I have it at a 0.85, it's going to drag along very slowly. So this is how I have them. This is how I like them. Try them out. Personal preference. Target aim assist on, ADS aim assist on, and then you don't have to worry about motion sensor. Movement, tactical sprint assist on with the sprint assist delay at 0, all the way down to 0. Sprint sideways on, sprint backward on. Low mantle assist. So this is a tricky one. It's going to take some getting used to, but once you get used to it, you're going to love it. Basically what this is while you're sprinting around, you can jump through those little windows and those little ledges on Rebirth without having to spam your jump button or get stuck in the windows. You know what I mean? So I have the low mantle assist on, sideways, backward, and on tactical sprint only. So that's as I'm sprinting, I'll jump through it. If I'm kind of just chilling in the window, I won't be going over it. But make sure it's on tactical sprint only, and mantle assist angle at tight. Okay? Tight. Crouch assist off, corner slice off. I'm on tap to slide now. I was on hybrid for a while. It just felt a little off to me. Then I tried slide only, but still felt a little off to me. So now I'm on tap to slide with a short slide dive activation delay. So that means I tap to slide and I hold it to dive. So tap the slide, hold the dive. So I tried it on medium. I like it on medium also, but short is okay. I don't have to hold the button that long. So that's just how I like it. Personal preference again. You can keep it on hybrid if you want, or keep it on slide only. Up to you. This off, sprint restore on, slide maintain sprint on. And all these other ones pretty much. Let's see. Single tap run for sure. Grounded mantle on. Again, this has to do with the low mantle assist. So have this on. Um, Go over to combat. This is all pretty much default with the exception of the armor plate behavior. I'm sure all you guys have this on apply all already anyways. And then go here and prioritize interact. So you can just spam your square to loot, and if you're around a bunch of loot, you gotta hold square to reload. If you're not around a bunch of loot, you can tap to reload. So that's why I like prioritize interact. Okay. Now let's go to graphics. Graphics. All right, it says HDR up there because I have it on my TV right now because my laptop is hooked up to my monitor. Normally I play on my monitor at 120 hertz, but for the sake of this video, ignore this part. But make sure eco mode preset is off. Okay, not on efficiency, not on low consumption. Make sure it is off. Quality. World motion blur off. Weapon motion blur off. Depth of field off. Fidelity FX cast on. I like the sharpening at 80. I think by default it might be at 100. I could be wrong, but I like it at 80. That's where I'm at with it. On-demand texture streaming, make sure this is set to minimal. And if you hit square, come down here and the daily download limit down to 1 gigabyte. So what that's doing is it is streaming textures live during the game. So if you put it to minimal and you leave the download limit to 1 gig, once it reaches 1 gig, it will no longer be streaming shaders and textures while you are playing, which helps with a little bit of hitching and a little bit of latency that you get sometimes. So I just changed this like last week and noticed a big difference. So make sure this is on minimal and on 1 gigabyte daily download limit. So once it reaches the 1 gig, it stops streaming while you're playing. Go over to view. FOV, I have it at 108 now. I was at 120. I tried 115 and I found my comfort zone at 108 where my aim assist is the stickiest for me on my 24-inch monitor. That's just me. At 120 on my 24-inch monitor, I felt like it was hard to see people, especially at a distance. So 108 affected wide. Okay, this makes your weapon look smaller on your screen. Make sure this is on wide. And then the camera movements, turn this to least. And if you want to put inverted flashbang on, you can. It just turns your screen black instead of white when you get flashed. But not a lot of people use flashbangs anyways. But anyways, moving on. Audio. Okay, so audio, I got my master gain volume on 80. The music all the way down, the dialogue volume down to 40. This is the guy that says, enemy dropping in, or enemy UAV in the air, stuff like that. So 40, 100, 0. I have these on off. This doesn't serve any purpose really. I've tried it both ways. It's just better on off. I play on Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is the tightest dynamic range, and you'll hear footsteps the best on PS5. The audio quality on the PS5 is not the greatest. So Sucker Punch, I feel like it's the best one where you can hear the most footsteps. Other than that, asymmetrical hearing compensation off, all this other stuff off. Tinnitus sound, reduced tinnitus sound on. And then this is personal preference here, but I like it on. So voice chat. Other than that, I don't think you need to see any of this, but I'm going to show it anyways. And interface now, go down to your interface. Turn on your latency, turn on your packet loss, so you know what kind of lobby you're in. If your latency is over 50, then it's kind of shitty. You'll notice a difference. But this is why I like to see mine. Normally it's between 20 and 30. Sometimes I get it a little bit lower, but I just like to see this personally myself. Go over to readability, come down to color customization. I'm on default. I did try Deuteranopia at one point, but I like default better. Make sure this is on filter 2, both 100, 100. Okay, that is important for graphics. It'll give you the best color. And then go to gameplay HUD, minimap on square if it's not already there. Minimap rotation on, horizontal, and then come down to crosshairs. Put this on static. This will help with your centering and your hip firing. When this is just on, the crosshair kind of moves with your screen. You want it on static so it stays at the center of your screen, so you know where your center of your screen is, so you can move left and right, back and forth, and your crosshairs stay at the middle of your screen. Okay, hit show more, turn on your cross dot, put it to largest, crosshair spread on, opacity at 100, and change this color from white to green. Green subliminally is the color of focus, so you'll focus more on your crosshairs, which ultimately help with your centering, which ultimately help with your hip fires and your gunfights. Okay, so green, purple, pink, something bright. Like I said, I just looked it up, and green is the color of focus. So I like it on green. This is what I've been playing on for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I really enjoy it. It's helped. So try it out. Let me know what you think. So I did forget one thing on interface. Under gameplay HUD. Yeah, there it is. Go to safe area. Bring this all the way down and all the way left. Okay, this brings in your mini map and your icons at the bottom that show your teammates and all that. It brings it all in, so you don't have to look so far for your mini map. Okay, this is big. Also, I think it helps a lot, so I don't got to keep looking way too far at the top of my screen. I can just kind of glance at it. It brings it all the way in. So all the way down, all the way left. Okay. Other than that, go ahead and once you're done here, restart your PS5 and let it download its shaders again, because if you did change some of that graphic stuff, you're gonna need to restart it so that it resets itself. Anyways, I'll catch you boys on the flip side. Peace.